Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are playing Batman Arkham Origins. We're going to be doing the no upgrade run, challenge run. And yeah, this is the last Batman game I have to do it for, so it should be pretty fun. We'll be doing it on hard, and thankfully turning off the hints on this one actually works. And what I mean by that is if you turn off hint, it turns off the combat indicators. So you can actually get like a new game plus experience in the regular new game, which we weren't able to do for Night or City because I don't think turning off the hints does anything in either of those games. So I'm glad that in this game it actually does something, because yeah, I have no idea what turning off hints in the other two games does. Anyways, so we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm going to skip the opening cutscene because, as per usual, these aren't really meant to be story. This isn't a story series, this is just for the challenge aspect. And also because the music in this game has the crap copyrighted out of it, and I will get content matched to Hades and back if I don't skip the cutscene. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, let's hop in. Alright, so here we are in the game. If my voice sounds different, or if it seems a little, different for whatever reason, it's because I actually am recording this part a day later than I did the intro. I was having issues where the game would crash. Well, it wouldn't crash, it would just like freeze. And so I had to deal with that. Apparently, this game does not like having the PhysX option enabled while you're recording with OBS, so I had to turn PhysX off, which is a little unfortunate because I do like some of the effects that it brings to the game. But, oh well, I guess we can just deal without it. The rest of the game still looks pretty nice. You're just missing out on like some random little like papers and boxes and some more foggy looking fog, but otherwise it's not too big of a deal. So anyways, here we are in the game. I can't remember if there was anything that I was... Okay, here we go. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to be skipping all the story stuff that we can, and I remembered what I was going to say. So this game is pretty much just a straight up continuation of Arkham City. As far as the gameplay goes, it is not much different at all. There are a couple things that are better, there are a couple things that are worse, but that's because after Arkham City got done, Rocksteady was like, hey, we want 3 years to work on our next game to Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers was like, okay. In the meantime then, we want to make another Batman game, and they're like, okay. So they gave all the code and stuff to WB Montreal, and they were able to make this game. And they even say in like all their interviews, like, yeah, we didn't really want to change things too much. We just wanted to... We just wanted to kind of improve on things where it would be easy to improve on them. Maybe throw in a couple of our, like a little bit of our flair and everything. And yeah, personally, I think a lot of the changes are really good. I think Origins can get pretty unfairly maligned. In fact, one change that I really like is that changing the hints to no actually does something in this game, where in the other games I have no idea if it's doing anything at all. But in this game it turns off the combat hints, right? So we're able to not have the combat hints again like we did in Asylum, which just makes this challenge run more challenging. So I don't think we'll... Actually, we will. This game, there's kind of a meme amongst the Batman Arkham game enjoyers where each game has something it's good at. So Batman, Arkham Asylum has the best atmosphere, City has the best story, and Night has the best gameplay, I think, and Origins has the best boss fights, which for the most part I would say is pretty true. Personally, I think City's story gets a little overplayed. It's a pretty tight story, don't get me wrong, but I've always preferred Origin's story, just because I feel like... it's a little more character driven. Batman actually has an arc in this game, whereas in the other two, he has an arc in Night too, at least, yeah, I would say he does. But in City and Asylum, Batman is a pretty stagnant character throughout, which is fine. That's, you know, a character story isn't the story that we're trying to tell, and if anyone in City gets their, you know, their character arc, it's probably Joker. But yeah, anyways, so I guess even though we aren't watching the story, I can kind of go over what's going on here. So we are in Blackgate prison. Black Mask is leading a breakout attempt, and so we're trying to catch him, you know, throw him back in his cell or whatever, and we're basically chasing him through the prison while he's trying to escape, and as we just saw, he has Killer Croc helping him out. So that's kind of the introduction to this little beginning area here. But we're just, you know, we're just going through and beating up some easy thug. Not really anything too difficult here. In fact, I don't even think you can upgrade anything until you get past this little tutorial area, which is kind of nice. I kind of like self-contained tutorial areas where your skill set is always exactly the same. Of course, on NG Plus, you'll have, you know, all the stuff that you unlock. Speaking of NG Plus, this one's actually a little bit different in the way it does its New Game Plus. I can't remember about Night, but in Arkham City, you essentially get to keep... We're in Calendar Man's cell now. But in Arkham City, you essentially get to keep every single gadget when you start New Game Plus. This game, we won't be going into New Game Plus, but it's a little bit different. You don't get to keep all of your gadgets, at least not the ones you unlock through the story. You only keep the ones that you unlock through challenges or from purchasing upgrades. The ones that you unlock through the story are still locked until you get to the specific part in the story where you would normally unlock them. So it's just kind of a way for them to gate progress. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine. It just kind of maybe tunnels you a little bit more than City would with the gadgets. Like, there's a couple sequence breaks you can do in City on NG Plus just because you have some of the gadgets earlier than you would normally be able to get them. So it's just a different way of playing. So here we are with Commissioner Loeb. He just got thrown in the gas chamber. So Batman is sad because he couldn't save him. If you've heard Batman talking underneath me throughout any of this, he actually isn't voiced by Kevin Conroy in this game. And that was an intentional choice by WB Montreal. They wanted to go with a different voice actor for both Batman and the Joker because they figured, you know, this is a lot earlier in the timeline. I think it's like 8 years? I can't remember exactly. But it's a long time between this game and Asylum, and so they wanted to get people who could sound like younger, kind of more, at least for Batman, like a more arrogant version of Batman. We just took our first damage of the challenge run, so that's fun. Alright. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to make these episodes. In the Arkham City, they seem to be about 30 to 40 minutes, which I think I can stay with. That helped us finish the game in about 6 episodes, I think it was, especially since we were just skipping all the story. So, that's not what I wanted it to do. But yeah, hopefully, maybe we can get this series done in the same amount of time. I was thinking... Oh, actually, I'll say this after, because we have a cutscene to skip. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to do the DLCs, and I don't think I will. First of all, I never did Cities DLC, and secondly... Can I? Okay. And secondly... The DLCs in these games are kind of interesting because they allow you to unlock all the upgrades automatically. So there's So there's really no point to doing my... Killer Croc is so fast here. There's really no point to doing my challenge run. Oh, you don't have to stun him 3 times. I forgot about that. So there's really no point to doing my challenge run in the DLCs because you just unlock all the upgrades anyways. So yeah. They're fun DLCs, but maybe we'll save those for the future if we ever do an actual story playthrough. Which I think we could. It would just be annoying having to try to get around all the content matching that happens in these games. So yeah, Killer Croc's not a very hard fight. He's kind of your introduction into stunning enemies, you know, in your first boss fight, so he's not too difficult here. We've pretty much beaten him already, as you can see, because he's just going to jump over here and grab this thing, and we're just going to blow it up. There we go, and now it's over. Okay, so here we are in the Batcave. I just skipped through a ton of cutscenes. I will say, if you've never played this game before, the story, like I said earlier, is really good. So if you know, you should at least go watch the cutscenes somewhere if you don't ever plan on playing this game for yourself. But you can usually find it pretty cheap on the PC. I think if you're trying to play it on console, you'll have a hard time because, at least for PlayStation, because I think you can only play it on the PS3. I don't think they ever forwarded it to like any remasters or anything. I don't know about Xbox though. Anyways, we're going to click on this fast travel point here. So anyways, we are in a like communications tower now, like a cell tower, I guess. Because Batman is trying to get to Jezebel Plaza to intercept a an arms deal from Penguin's men, so he can figure out where the heck Penguin is. And when we were trying to fly there, this tower was jamming the Bat plane's navigation or whatever. So we have to go check it out. And now we find that there's bad guys here. And this is our stealth introduction. Pretty similar to Cities, where you throw down a smoke pellet and then have to take out some guys in a room that have hostages. And the reason they do the hostages is so that you have to take these guys out in a specific way. You can't, you know, I couldn't sneak up behind this guy because he's up against the wall with a hostage, so I have to come up and learn the inverted takedown here, which is, you know, a pretty decent way to do it. However, of course, Batman just does basically tell you exactly what to do anyways, so it's not like it's a difficult thing, but I mean, it is part of the tutorial, so there's no problem there. And then for that one, you just get the button prompt. I didn't even turn on detective mode there, the game turned it on for me. So yeah, we should just have one more guy to deal with, which is... Where am I going? I can't remember where I'm supposed to go. Oh, here we go. Alright. So that's that Predator encounter, and conveniently it takes us to exactly where we need to go. For this part, though, we need to do some detective work, which, if you remember from City, was a decent, you know, plot element where you would have to, you know, figure stuff out with the evidence scanner or whatever. However, in this game, they kind of cranked it up to 11, where you have to like identify NPC or identify people and like try to figure out what killed them or whatever. It's actually really cool. They have some missions where you get to do this some more. It's not like you get to do any actual thinking. It's kind of just more scanning things and then listening to Batman talk about it. Sorry to sneeze. Listening to Batman talk about it, but still, the reconstructions are pretty cool. I remember when this game came out. I don't think I really saw anything like it before. Speaking of when this game came out, I remember it came out around now, actually, I think, or sometime late October, early November. And the reason I remember that is because it came out the same weekend, or yeah, I like pre-ordered it on Amazon or whatever, and it came out the same weekend that we had our Halloween dance in high school. And I remember being like, well, dang, now I can't play it until, you know, the next day because we had the Halloween dance that weekend, which of course, you know, I wasn't going to skip for a silly video game release, but me and my friends were super excited for this game because we did love Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, so we were eagerly awaiting this game. It probably was good that I had to wait a day or two before I could play this though, because if I remember, even on consoles, this game had a pretty buggy release, and I would crash quite frequently, and depending on where you crashed, like if I was to crash right there, your save can get corrupted. Yeah, if it crashes while it's auto-saving, which happened to me, I think at least twice, which, yeah, after that, I started, oh, I guess I missed it. Oh, I think I missed it again, gosh dang it. I started backing up my saves, which is thankfully not very difficult to do on the Xbox 360. So here is this game's version of Riddler. It's the same character, but he doesn't go by Riddler yet. He goes by Enigma. Yeah, like Batman just told us.
Well, how's this for clever? I've taken control of towers all over the city. As long as they're active, your Batwing's useless. And it looks like it's gonna stay that way. I mean, this one's practically begging to be taken offline, and you still can't hack it.
Right there. You'll see in the subtitles, he says this one's practically begging to be taken offline, and you still can't hack it. Pun intended, of course. If you look at the subtitles, the word begging is in all capitalized. And so for the longest time, I thought that the pun had something to do with the word begging. And so I was always super confused, like, where the heck is the pun here? But of course, that's not where the pun is. They just capitalized the word begging because he says it with kind of an emphasis. The real pun is, of course, that you can't hack it, right? As in, you can't hack the device, but at the same time, you know, like if someone isn't up to the task, you say they can't hack it, right? So, sorry for explaining the joke to you, but that one went over my head for a long time just because of how the subtitles were. So here is the open world, and we just got a call for a crime in progress. Most of these are random, however there are a few scripted ones. For example, this one that just came up will always come up because they want you to come and KO these guys down here. And I usually like to, just because there's a lot of guys here and it's a fun little combat encounter, because you haven't done combat for a little while since the prison, so I like to take a break and KO these guys. And plus it gives you a good chance to get some of the, oops, wrong button. It gives you a chance to get some of the challenges. So this game, unfortunately, has little challenges that you can do. So for example, right now I'm supposed to perform 5 counters, then use quickfire battering, reach at 8x combo, and you have to do these in order. And the thing is that with the combat ones, it's usually not that bad, but with the predator ones, there are ones that you can miss. So I've never actually completed all of them before because I'm too lazy to keep an eye on the predator ones. And yeah, I've never completed all the predator ones before, so fun fact, I guess. which is surprising because I used to be quite the achievement hunter on Xbox, but I guess that one just never felt worth it to me, having to like force myself to play a certain way. I'm just throwing batarangs here because I think that was one of the next challenges. Because if you do enough of the challenges, you can unlock free flow combat, which makes the combat a lot more fun. Or not free flow combat, that's what the combat system is called. I mean the focused free flow. I think that's what it's called. For the longest time, they actually changed up the sound effects that are used when you fight guys. The knockout sound effect and the strike sound effect is different in this game. And to be honest, I'm not a super fan of the new sound effects because they aren't really distinct like they were in the previous games. Like when you knocked out a guy in in Arkham Asylum or City, you got a super crunchy sound effect. Sorry, I just want to see where I'm at with this one. Oh. Okay, that's cool. I guess I only ended up doing one of them, but whatever. So I have to use... Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, when you knocked out guys in the previous games, you got a super crunchy sound effect. In this game, it's a little more discreet, and so for the first, you know, few hours of playing this game, I had a hard time telling when enemies were actually knocked out, so sometimes I would go to hit them even though they were already knocked out. I just didn't realize. So that is one difference that I'm not a big fan of. Thankfully they did up the sounds for night though, so it's a lot easier to tell when guys are KO'd again. Of course, if you use a instant takedown on them though, then it's always easy to tell. Because you break their arm or their leg or whatever. Alright, so here's where we need to go so we can watch the arms deal go down.
Looks like I'm the first one here. I need to find a spot where I can stake this place out unnoticed.
And it looks like we're nearing
Not a dime changes hands
the half hour almost, so I think we'll call this episode here pretty soon.
I'll make them talk.
But yeah, we just have another combat encounter here. I tried to do the drop attack on these guys, but it kind of like had me land on the thing and then it was just weird from there on. Okay, I think I should be good as far as combo battering goes. Although I don't know, because it's still not going into the free flow. Maybe I have to end the combat encounter before it actually gives me the thing. Wow, I just dodged 2 punches. That's so lucky. Dodging punches does not always happen.
This guy's unbelievable.
You will have to forgive me. I am a little bit rusty. It has been a while since I played this game. So it'll be interesting to see how far we get. Oh, wow. Well, I know we can beat the game, but I just mean it'll be interesting to see how much trouble we end up having. So anyways, we just interrogated that guy, and now we're trying to figure out where Penguin it is, but okay, I think I have free flow now.
I'll need to...
Okay, be quiet, Alfred. So yeah, now we're going to go unlock another tower, which is good because this gives us a tower on this side of the map. Because, you know, there's the two sides separated by the big bridge, and the big bridge is really long. A lot of people complain about the bridge, but the thing is, you only ever really have to cross it for the story twice. So I don't know why people don't really like it very much. Because it's not like you're ever forced to use it. You can always use the fast travel, which is fast, of course. So yeah, I'm not sure why it's always been such an issue for people. To be fair, I guess on the consoles, fast travel was not as fast. But on PC at least, it takes no time at all to use the fast travel. In fact, it loads so fast that you almost don't even get to see any of the fast travel cutscene. Batman just pretty much grapples up to the Batwing, and then he like immediately is already jumping back out of it. With like no travel time. Ah, sorry, I got hit because my eye is bothering me. So for this one, we just have to throw a remote control batarang and then hit this. I can't remember if I said this in the city video, but I'm not the greatest at the remote control batarangs because they actually switched the flight controls for them between Asylum and City. So I got super used to how they control in Asylum, and for some reason I've never been able to get very used to their invertedness. Which doesn't make sense because usually for things that are flying, I prefer inverted controls anyways. So yeah, the fact that the remote batarang it feels weird to me with the inverted controls, but I've been trying to get used to it, and yeah, for whatever reason, it just feels really odd. But yeah, I can still do it. I just have to think about it for a second. And if you ever see me throw a remote batarang and it just like dives into the ground, it's probably because I forget. But yeah, anytime I play like a flying character or like a plane or something, I will always prefer inverted controls. In fact, on the Switch version of the Reignited trilogy for Spyro, the flight controls are not defaulted as inverted, and that was really messing with me. Thankfully, I think you can change them if I remember correctly. So yeah, anyways, we are going to go hack some terminals to triangulate Penguin's location. And the first one is over here, so I'm just gonna start flying over here while Batman is talking. At least I think it's over here, yeah. There it is. So anyways, if you can't tell, because it's covered in snow and it does look a little different, this is actually the North Gotham. In other words, the place that you play in during Arkham City. It looks pretty similar, but there are a couple places that are different, because in Arkham City, obviously it underwent a lot of renovations for the prison, and also because there was a lot of earthquakes going on during the game, during the time period that the game takes place. So and you know, this is like I said, like 8 or so years before those events anyways, so you'd expect things to change during that time also. Oh my gosh. So sometimes, I'm sure I've talked about this in the other ones before, but sometimes you can try to punch an enemy before they punch you, but usually that'll end up getting you punched because Batman likes to do a lot of crazy flips and things that make him take a second before he'll actually connect with the enemy. So yeah, hitting an enemy without countering is always a risk. I can't remember if you got to keep your compass in City if you had upgrades to unlock. It's been a while since I played City, as you can probably tell by the last upload date of that series. Although actually I have speed ran it a couple times. I don't need that. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've only speed ran this game once. It's okay. It's just really long. At least it was for me. Cause yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just not. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. I guess I'm just not used to the sequence breaks like I am for Asylum and City. But I never do the glitched categories. I think those are stupidly boring. Like, you aren't even playing Batman at that point. You're just playing a glitch exhibition, which does not sound fun to me. So we'll kill that for no reason.
Relays are protecting. Can't be good. I should destroy anyone I come across.
So yeah, this is just a tiny predator encounter, although I think it is the second one that you come across. So it's probably fine that it's smaller, because they don't want to be putting you up against a ton of guys just yet, since you can get KO'd pretty quick with guys with guns. I will say, this game, I mentioned earlier how it has, out of the series, the meme is that it has the best boss fights, and there is one boss fight that I'm not looking forward to, because I've actually done a no upgrades run of this game before, just on my own, without recording, and yeah, that boss fight was a nightmare, and so yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. In fact, I think no upgrades run for that fight is harder than NG+. In fact, I think regular hard, if you are upgrading things, is harder than NG+, because by that point in the story, you still don't have a lot of the upgrades. So, yeah, even then, I think regular NG on hard is harder than NG+, just because that fight is helped a lot if you have health upgrades, and even some of the combat upgrades, but yeah. So yeah, here we have another larger predator encounter with these guys, and we have some snipers here that we have to get first, but thankfully that's no problem. And then we just have to grab the rest of these guys, which isn't hard, because we can just kind of zoom around and grab them. Because most of them for this part are pretty stationary. They don't really... I think that guy... Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that guy will turn around, though. It's kind of one of those things where obviously I can just go behind him, but I don't know when he's going to turn around again. But if I wait for him to turn around, you know, it'll be way too long and I could have easily went and taken him out. But if I don't wait for him, then I know as soon as I land there, he'll turn around and kill me. So it's kind of annoying, but whatever. Oh, and I guess that guy was coming back anyway. So maybe we can go take out this guy real quick. Geez, that guy still hasn't turned around. Maybe we can go grab him. Oh. What's that guy? Okay, he's going that way. So yeah, we'll take out this guy. One thing I do appreciate about Arkham Knight over City and Origins here is how far away you can trigger a silent takedown. You have to get pretty close to these guys in these games to be able to do it. So for these guys, they're just kind of guarding the door, so what I like to do is just throw a smoke bomb in there, and then you can just beat them up. Yeah, no problem. But I think it seems like it's been long enough, so I think I will call this episode here. Well, I guess once we KO these guys. And yeah, next time we'll start off by going through Penguin's boat here and trying to find him. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to try really hard to get this out by Christmas, because technically this is a Christmas game. So we'll see how that goes. But, like I was trying to say, I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.